Hey everyone, welcome back. Just want to go live real quickly here and talk about a few updates. There are a few things that have really been cycling through in the last few days, and we haven't gone live all too often, as often as we have been during this week. So let's just get into it really quickly. We'll talk about a few things that I think have been kind of significant, and it always depends, right, how you interpret it, how you channel it. But in terms of the long-term cycles as well that we're really working with, Jupiter has finally gone direct, and we still have the post-shadow retrograde period, but just keep in mind that keep that in mind, and then also keep in mind that there might have been some sort of, as you might have felt, a shift here. And actually yesterday, as far as I'm recording this today, on the let's see, the 13th or so. So anyways, yeah, major shifts, major cycles, major points of also maybe clarity, attention, that sort of gives. I'm hearing as well in that way, like things that have been building. It's like finally, like the snowball at the top of the mountain. Okay, been pushing it up, it's been a hike. And then, there is that sort of moment. Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And I was really like, oh, should I go live? I really want to go live. And so yeah, take it as you will. There is so much here possibly that you might actually find as well has been on your mind, is on your mind, things that haven't really found. I'm hearing outlets. I'm hearing that as well. Interesting. Okay, so I don't know what that's alluding to, but anyways, I really I wanted to do a reading, but we're sort of in transit here. So I might do one later. We'll see. But for now, let's just talk about the major updates. And Mars has actually as well gone officially retrograde. That was on the 9th, so we've had that for a few days now. But officially Mars is retrograde. We have Neptune still retrograde. Jupiter is again direct now. Pluto will be going direct on October 4th, so got a bit more time of that. And then Saturn is also retrograde until it's later this month of September 2020. So we've got a little bit more of Saturn, but we're inching towards direct as well there with Saturn. So it's exciting, a lot going on this month. Now the new moon in Virgo as well coming up. That's around the 17th of September. Here this month, the new moon in Virgo, and those readings are out as well. So feel free to check out the playlist on the channel if you're sort of interested in looking at some of the readings that already have been done for some of these cycles. And let's see anything else here. Mercury's on Libra, and then we've got Venus still in Cancer. Actually, so Leo. But why do I feel, one second, Leo, Venus and Leo, yeah. But and Venus is direct. It's totally clear actually. But we've got Mercury going into pre-shadow actually coming up. So, but Venus is in Leo. Why do I feel like there's something? Is Venus in Leo? No. Venus is in Cancer. Okay, hold on a second here. All right, let's pull out the notebook. We've got Venus in Cancer, but Venus, I believe, will be moving. Let's see. So, okay, well, okay. Second. Mercury is in Libra, yes. Okay, and then Venus is in Leo, yeah, but why do I feel like, well, we just Venus in Leo, yeah, Venus went into Leo in September, so it was just kind of recent that, we cycled out of the Venus in Cancer. We definitely cycled that out. So we cycled out of Venus in Cancer, but there could have been some overlap, amongst a number of planets, specifically the Sun in Virgo. So that will be going into Libra later this month. You might find a major point of release clearing there. And what is that? That will depend on everyone, but it's so good to feel you all here. Hello. And how many of you feel like there are energies, let's say from the past, where you're like, I definitely have not been feeling this way in a long time now. How many feel like that energy has sort of been coming up for review within the past few days even, let's say? That's not all too surprising, given that whenever we station with the Mercury retrograde, or Mercury is coming up, Mercury's like, hello, remember me, I'm coming, just to let everyone know, okay? freaking in advance every time they seem as like a surprise or something. It's me again. I go retro every so often. Actually, yeah, Mercury does go retrograde pretty often, relatively. It's all relative, right? But and so that will be coming up within this month, I believe, actually. So let me see exactly when. Yeah, the 23rd of September. We've got it going to pre-shadow. So this month is not good enough for Mercury retrograde. It's good to always sort of know when that is around the corner. 23rd, you might feel that sort of that push of energy, and it might be related to what has been coming up for review in the last few Mercury retrograde cycles. So feel free, again, to look at the playlist on the channel if you do feel guided. Of course, always heed your personal intuition, always. But there might be some kind of pattern that might be coming up for review during these cycles, and take it as you will, but themes and whatnot that might have been coming up for review might come up through again. And not to say that it's sort of redundant. It's not like, okay, just random, right? Of course, energy. Also, you cannot destroy energy. So it's just a matter of, maybe let's say it in this way, like, okay, I choose to focus on that energy space during this time. And then I say, okay, well, now I want to go focus over there on whatever else is on my mind. I'm hearing that as well. Very interesting. And so I'm going to put that energy into that box over there, and I'll come back to it. Okay, so it's like when we go back into that Mercury retrograde cycle, we are sort of tapping back into maybe what we have been working on. That's not a general, we have to say that is a general statement, but it may not be right always in that way for everyone. So always take it as you will, possibly. And Mercury actually does work with the details. It works with the mind, how we actually perceive of things as well. So that coming retro in tandem with many other planets here, we have again, relative Jupiter is officially direct, but it's still in its post shadow until let's get that date as well. Okay, Jupiter will be clearing on the 5th of December. So, okay. Everyone comfortable, right? You have like good leg room, arm room, just stretch out. Yeah, so, but it's, you might have already found that there are some really major storyline plot points that you've been moving through, and there might have been some sort of alleviation possibly. Of course, again, depends on your personal birth chart, but okay, now what else interesting this month we have, again, this I'm going to Libra, and that will be later in the month, around the 22nd, 23rd. And then we have Mercury going into Scorpio. Mercury in Scorpio around the 28th of September. So, whoa, when we hit about the 26th, 27th, 28th, we'll have Saturn going officially direct as well. And then I'll have that post shadow as well, kind of trailing after Jupiter, not too far behind it. But and then we'll have the Sun shifting out into Libra, and then we'll have Mercury as well, in its retro, and then it'll also be moving through into the sign of a Scorpio. So there's a whole lot here that will be cycled out at the end of September. So just keep it in mind. Right now we're working with a lot. It's like we're all getting ready for the final exam sort of feeling. It can be seen in that way. Yeah. Okay, Venus in Leo until about the 3rd of October. And then that, interestingly, is right before we move into Pluto direct. So yeah, it's a lot of like karate chops, and I'm curious to know, how do you guys feeling around this time? What are like the major predominant sort of energy, waves of energy, if you were to describe it as like a wave of energy? Is there something that is kind of, emphasized at certain times as well, more so than at other times? And keep in mind that the readings and major points of the moon cycle might really manifest 6 months down the line, a year down the line, on either end. So, and, keep in mind as well, planets are retrograde. It's really at times can be challenging to identify what is happening with that planet. And so if you do feel frustrated, okay, know that kind of comes along with the territory of really looking at these patterns and waves and cycles of retrograde. I'm hearing moments. I'm hearing it's about finding the meaning. Interesting. So it's like it is kind of like surgery. You have to see it in that way in terms of what it is that you might be interacting with as well during that time. So it's like, not an amazing time to take on any like major sort of decision. I don't know what that's alluding to for a number of you, but it's like, if it's something that you feel, you'll sort of know when something has matured to the point where you're like, I'm comfortable carrying this out during a retrograde cycle. If it's something that, let's say, you coming down to over and over and over again, reach that sort of plateau. But if it's something that's just kind of like, it's something that possibly you haven't really, I'm hearing discussed, I'm hearing that as well, maybe with a number of people, I don't know what that's going to take it as you will, then it is probably best, but always not judged as a generalized statement, always again, take it as you will, it might be best to hold off on that, possibly, but whatever is sort of whatever happens meant to be, right? We can say it in that way as well. So don't be like, oh my god, I signed the contract, I didn't know it was like gonna be like everything retrograde season. It's fine. Okay, like it's meant to be, right? It's like what happens, like this is, you're learning, right? So, hello everyone. Jessica, it's because you're Pisces. It's because you got so much Pisces, Jessica. Alright, you don't need to be advertising our signs, the weakest links now, Jessica. No, I'm kidding. Listen, it's a lethargic period. It can be seen as that, especially with Mars retrograde. Whew, yeah, it's like that's what gets us kind of going, right? Mars, that physical, sort of really physical energy. When it's in retrograde, it's like, okay, the person usually driving the car is sitting in the back seat, like, I don't know where I want to go today. It's like, and it's kind of not like Mars, you don't, when you look at Mars, you think about it, you're like, yeah, Mars is what takes us where we want to go. But it's like, when it's retro, it's like, wow, really not like you sort of energy. And, if you've got a lot of fire in your chart, and I'm hearing air as well, don't try not to, if you're feeling kind of not like yourself around this time, try not to beat yourself up. Almost like every single planet is retrograde, nearly. Neptune, that's sort of Pluto, Scorpio, that's Neptune is, that was confusing, Neptune, Pisces, I don't know why I keep saying Pluto here, but Pluto is also retrograde, and you might want to remember as well that, planets are interacting with one another. It's not like, Pluto in isolation, reporting live from like another planet entirely, like these are the people who are only affected by Pluto retrograde, or these are only aspects of your life that are, affected by Pluto retrograde, like everything is sort of orchestrated, right, in a certain way. So remember that is also maybe at play. So certain parts of you, maybe your aspects of your being where you're like, wow, I'd normally not ever do that, or do that, or do that, or act like this, or react like that. Note that is, at times also maybe needed. Interesting, let's clear it in ground. Yeah, so if this is a cycle in a more macro space, we can say, kind of also of discovery. So you're kind of learning about yourself. I'm hearing that's really interesting. Like, be aware, be open to what might be also coming forward as a reaction. And, the question can be, well, we can react, right? But how do we sort of also interpret that space where, we maybe can look at it as a constructive cycle? So, take it as you will. Sometimes it's helpful, right, to have those moments where we say, wow, it's wonderful that I had that experience, because that kind of showed me as well that I was at a boiling point. I'm hearing that for a number of you. I don't know what that's leading to, but sometimes we don't know, right? Until we're like stopped and we're like, whoa, I realized how fast I was going. Good thing that I slowed down or saw myself in relation to another on the road. Interesting. So yeah, I don't know what that's going to do. It's just coming through. It's clear the energy and ground. So yeah, I know there's a lot here that maybe you feel you're reviewing. It's a very intensive space, but Mars being already kind of retro, and we've got we had a few days of that coupled with Jupiter retro at the same time. Last few days pretty intense. That's sort of the meat of the sandwich, can we say? And then we're moving now, Jupiter, going direct, and then we have Saturn here that's still retro, moving with that until about the 28th, and then we're gonna have just Pluto retro still, Neptune retro, Uranus retrograde. It should be knows there for a number. I don't know what that's only two with Pluto. Okay, I so want to do a reading. I want to do a reading so badly, but I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna hold off on it. So maybe we'll see within the next. I don't know, maybe later today. But there are a lot of readings out. So if you do feel guided, there could be messages in the Mars retrograde readings. They're also extended on the website, and thank you all for your ideas about these readings. But yeah, extended on the website for Jupiter retrograde. And Mars as well, retro readings, and then the new moon in Virgo. Okay. Now, how are you guys doing? Yeah, yet again. So, how are you feeling? What are there any themes, patterns? Do you feel something coming up for you around this time, specifically within this particular period? And yeah, just remember, be gentle with yourself, and just, it's kind of, it's like trying to run a race, but the weather's not right. Okay, it's like, don't, remember that you have also, people around you, and that everyone is going through. Sometimes it's easy to just think, I'm all alone in the world right now, and I'm the only one going through this. You're not. Okay, I'm hearing that as well. Remember that. Thank you so much for your dear donation, Reckless at my bestest. Aw, what a cute name. So yeah, are you a Pisces, or you got a lot of Pisces in your chart? Neptune. All right. So, yeah, we'll really, be working with a few more cycles here, but we'll get comfortable with how to work the auras. We continue that way until, let's say, I would say, let me see real quickly here. We'll get comfy, or I would say more comfortable, let's say. It's all relative, right? It's all how you take it, but, December. Yeah. When is the pie gonna be done? December. Okay, maybe, we can say that it is gonna get gradually more and more comfortable. Okay. So yeah. Also might not be a bad idea to look back at the last few readings. And specifically the full moon in Pisces that might come through down the line, even 6 months again down the line, and gradually over time you might find that it does resonate. Love and light to you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.